Hello, my friends. Happy Paper Pumpkin Day. It is an unboxing day for me. This is the April 2026 Paper Pumpkin Kit, and I have not opened it yet. I do know I'm going to be in love with this one because it's actually based on a suite from the upcoming catalog, and I'm in love with that suite, so I know I'm going to love this as well. So I'm going to try and be better about unboxing the Paper Pumpkin Kit every month and doing some extra alternative projects for you today too as well. Not today. I will today unbox. Maybe if I have time, we'll put together one of the cards. But I just wanted to kind of show you a little more about Paper Pumpkin, because if you had done it years ago, it's come a really long way and I'm in love with them now. They are really, really cute, and they're a great way to kind of get your stash of cards built up without having to think too hard. And if you do them regularly, right, you'll have a really good stash. And of course, they're great for gifts too. Like if you want to gift one, like if one doesn't really work for you, or if you just want to gift the subscription because it's really fun to get the surprise in the mail, that would be really fun too. And we shall see what's in this month's box. So, ta-da! Every month you get an ink pad, an ink spot, that is a different color from any other color for the last year. So you can kind of collect the little inks and figure out which ones you like the most. What's really cool about this one, the ink is Peaceful Pine, which is one of the new in colors. So you can get a brand new in color in this month's box. So of course this box was already distributed, so it may or may not be available online anymore, but it's just to kind of show you what it's like every month to get the kit. So I do usually have a couple of extras, so if it's one you want, let me know. I may or may not have it left, but it's just really fun to see. So typically, if you order before the 10th of the month, you will get that month's kit. So right now we're actually doing, because it's the end of April right now, so if you were to register now, you would get the May Paper Pumpkin Kit. So here is the kit. So cute, right? It's based on the Waterside Retreat suite collection. So if you got that suite in the new catalog in another week or so, then you could pair the two things together, which is amazing. And then this is the stamp set that comes with it. Now do note the April 2026 kit did have a couple of kits that went out with the wrong stamp set. So if this is not what your kit looks or your stamp looks like, be sure to reach out to Stampin' Up. I fortunately got all the correct ones in my kits. But let's open this up and you can see this is designed to just be standalone crafting, right? You don't need to supply anything else. It will literally have everything you need to create the projects as designed. Of course, if you want to step them up and do something completely different, then you can do that and you might need to add a few things. But if you want to make them as is, this is it, my friends. I will say I typically use a different adhesive a lot of times than what's in here. But you can, and I sometimes will use my existing ink pads instead of these. But other than that, I usually it's just really good. Like when I'm camping, I'll just grab a Paper Pumpkin kit or a kit collection kit because they're really easy to do something creative if we've got a rainy day or something. All right, so you get your instructions. We looked at the stamps, the ink, and then you get little instructions. They are photo instructions. They're not super detailed, but they give you step-by-step pictures of what to do, right? And then let's look at what else is here. So as part of this kit, we have some tear and tape adhesive, which actually that's really good adhesive. You've got these fun little like pebble embellishments and some Stampin' Dimensionals minis. You've got some blue background pieces here. We've got the card envelopes, rather. You've got all your envelopes, all the same. And then we've got some card bases. So this is one. And I love that these cards have a front and back. So they're always white inside, but they've got a front and back, which is nice. So that's one background. Then we have the wood grain shiplap almost card base. And then the last card base is this blue stripe. And then we've got all these fun little die cut bits and pieces. So sentiment strips, probably stamping stuff, some pre-printed little die cuts, and then some additional colored die cut pieces. So what I typically do when I first get my kit is I will actually separate everything out. So I'm going to put this card here, and then this card here. So I've got them separated out, and then I will go to my instructions and I will look at what is needed for each. So without doing any of the stamping, I'm looking at, okay, I need to stamp on a little brown piece here. And it's also showing this little plaid piece. So I'm going to take those out. And we're going to just put those with that kit. So everything's kind of together, and it just makes it easier to stamp. Okay, and I'm hoping, I forgot to close my windows before I recorded this video, so you might be hearing traffic. I'm sorry about that. I usually try to close them and I forgot. Okay, and then we need this little like hanging sign. So we'll put that over here. And that's actually the stamp on the block, I think. Or no, that's actually the piece. Never mind. All right, so then we need to find the little piece, which I think is this one. And it helps sometimes to just look at the sample on the front to see, yeah. So we need this. And they usually give you an extra one, and I usually put all 4 of them there, and I will stamp all 4 of them, and then I just stick the extra one in my leftover stash. And then we need the little fish, which was here, and here, and here. And then that shows the little embellishments. I'm just missing that. Oh, I think the Happy Father's Day must be this. We must stamp. Where's my stamp set? Oh yeah, so there's this, which is the border, which we have to stamp, and then the Happy Father's Day. So yeah, it's just gonna be the little square one. Are these the same size? I'm not sure. Roughly, I don't know which ones are the bigger one. Let's see. I think these are the right ones. So I'm going to do the ones on the corner here, the edge here. Those go with that. And then that card is all set to begin stamping. And so I do assembly line. So once I've got all the things there, now I'll go to this one, which is the stripe background. And I need the little half thing here. So I need that one, this one, this one, and that one. And then I need the green sentiment here, like so. And we need the bike and the background here. Okay. Bike and background. And bike. Sorry, big trucks going by. It's beautiful out today, so the windows are all open. Okay, and that's for that one. And then for the last one, we need, oh wait, where did I, oh, I need these two. So these 3 go with this one as well. So we're just gonna slip that under there. Okay, and then for this one, we need the circle layer here, and the life vest, and the little oars. Do we not use this other piece at all anywhere? I'll have to double check to see if that doesn't get used somewhere. It might, and I missed it. All right, so that one. This is another reason why I like to pull everything out at once, so that you can see if anything is missing. So that one, and then this one, and this one. Okay, this. All right, and then let's see. The other reason why I really like to do all of this, because sometimes I'll only make a couple of the cards and then I'll use some of these really cute like die cuts and stuff for a card, or I mean a scrapbook page, just to kind of switch things up a little, right? So let's do, and actually I'll probably do a video of that because I have plenty of water type photos that I could use for a scrapbook page with this kit. So let's do that. And then we need these. One. Yeah, come here. 2 and 3. And then 1, 2, and 3 for that. And then let me just look really quick to see if I'm, oh yeah, it looks like that goes with this one. The stripe one. So let's put that over there. And then we've categorized everything out. So let's put one together. What do you think? All right. So I'm going to do that. And then let's start with this one here. All right, so let's move these. And let's move those. And then we're going to do this. We'll fold this in half. This is very handy to have, a little bone folder. Just gives you a nice crease. All right, so it says we have to stamp the Happy Father's Day. I'm only going to stamp 2 of them. Actually, I'm just going to do 1 for now. Normally, I would do all the stamping all at the same time, but just for time's sake, I'm just going to do this 1, and we'll see if we have time to do 1 of each here. All right, let's grab a block or 2. So when you first subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you will actually get a block included. It's typically a block that looks like, if I can find one. Oh, I can't get it out here. Okay. Looks like this. So it's a little skinnier than our regular blocks, but you'll get that included. And then this works with everything in every kit. Like there'll never be one that's bigger than that. So you'll know that you always have a block to use for the kit. Of course, if you begin to collect a stash, then you could order some other size blocks if you want to, because it can be a little bit easier to stamp with a block that is the right size. I'm just trying to slice this so that I can open it. Maybe. This is probably the trickiest part, my friends. And usually it goes much easier, but because we're on video, it doesn't want to cooperate. I usually just do one side so that it opens like a little flip top. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is what happens when you're live, right? All right, so let me just get the excess ink. This is why I stamp in black ink, or black pants. All right, so just wipe that on my pants. Let's see how our little ink pad is doing here. There we go. All right. So I'm going to ink up the Happy Father's Day. I would say typically I would actually flip the ink pad over and ink up the stamp, since the stamp is a little bit bigger than the ink pad, but I'm afraid that's going to pop right out of there. So we're going to just leave that. So we're going to do Happy Father's Day. Oops, and that was a little low. This is why it's good they give you more than one. So actually, let's do the other side, and we'll do these first. So this goes on the top and the bottom. Here, straight up, straight down. And again, same with the ink pad. You don't want to push too hard. I'm just walking it along the ink pad, straight down, straight up, I mean. And now we can do the ink. What's cool or the sentiment. What's cool about this is these ink pads are actually felt based, which is what the new ink pads that are coming out with the new catalog, they're only coming in new in colors, but those are going to be felt based as well. So if you know how to use the paper pumpkin kit, you'll know how to use those as well. All right, so we also have to stamp these, and again, I'm just going to do one for right now, and I'm going to just put that over there for now, and then this says you are an inspiration. And what's really cool about these two is you can always switch them up. Like, we'll use this one for Nate's dad, but my dad's not here anymore. So I will probably make the other ones more generic for like masculine cards for like my brother and my uncle and other people in my life. So you can totally, you know, make them your own, right? All right, so we've got those stamped. That's all we need for this particular card. So next we're just going to start to assemble, and it tells you on the instructions. So if it has little hexagons, those are dimensionals, and then if it's this long tape, that's the tear and tape. So it kind of tells you what to do. So for this one, it wants us to use dimensionals, and it's used quite a few. So you didn't want a saggy one, so let's go ahead, and they are minis, so that's part of it too. So it shows you how many to use. And I do find it's usually a good idea to use what they show you, because they kind of base what to include in the kit, like the quantity of dimensionals and stuff, based on what they've told you to use. So sometimes if you go too overboard, you may run out of stuff. And I kind of put these too close together. Let's do that. Okay, so there's that, and that's gonna go over here. And then it tells us for this guy, we're actually gonna do a combination of dimensionals and tear and tape. So down this side, we're gonna do that. And then this guy, we've got our fish like this. He's gonna need dimensionals on this side, so we'll do that. I was just kind of figuring it out. There we go. And then they have this going over it too, so the UR side will need some dimensionals. And then the rest of this will be with the tear and tape. And this tape is super easy to work with. So we're just going to find the end, which is here. This guy we're using tear and tape, and it's literally tear and tape. It's very easy. All right, do that. A little bit here and a little bit here. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Now remember, if I was doing this normally, I would have done all of these steps for all of the cards at once. But I just wanted to show you how easy these are to put together. So, alright, so we're going to do this. And I feel bad, like, covering up this cute little bow. So, again, you could switch it up a little bit, too, if you want to. All right, I'm going to attach this to the brown. So this just goes on here, kind of centered. Okay, and then the reason why it's half this and half this is because this is already popped up. So the flatter part is going to go overlapping the popped up panel, and then this is going to even it out. So that it's all together. All right, so there, that goes there, and that's how I knew where to put the dimensionals and where to put the regular adhesive on this, because the UR inspiration needs to be on the left, so the UR part. So this is going to go like right above the top of the sign, like it's hanging from it, like that, and then they have this cute little fish there too. So we'll take that off. And again, we're just going to kind of overlap that a little bit too. Okay, and then the last step for this is just to add your bling. And so they put, I'm trying to say, okay, they put some bling around the little rocks here. So let's just kind of add one here, and then a couple over here. There you go. Cute, right? So you could kind of do this any way you would like. So that's the paper pumpkin kit for this month. I'm just going to do the one for you now, and then maybe in a future episode I'll kind of show you what I'm going to do with the rest of the goodies, because I feel like I'm going to switch some of these up, maybe do a scrapbook page with it. So thanks so much for joining me for the unboxing and putting together of one of the projects. Again, you have 2 of the projects, 3 each of them, so you get 9 cards, and that's typical. It's pretty common for this paper pumpkin kit. So lots of fun crafting for you when you get your paper pumpkin kit. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them below. And if you'd like to subscribe, the link is in the description. All right, have a great day. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.